There was once a man named Elkanah from the hill country of Ephraim. He had 2 wives, Peninnah, who had children, and Hannah, who had none. 1 Samuel 1:1. Every year they would travel to Shiloh to worship the Lord. But for Hannah, it was painful. Peninnah provoked her, and she would weep, refusing to eat. But one year, Hannah rose from the table, went to the house of the Lord, and poured out her soul in prayer. She made a vow.
Lord, if you give me a son, I'll give him to you all the days of his life.
1 Samuel 1:11. God heard her prayer. She gave birth to a son and named him Samuel. God has heard. 1 Samuel 1:20. When the boy was weaned, she brought him back to the tabernacle and gave him to Eli the priest, saying,
I prayed for this child, and the Lord has granted me what I asked of him.
1 Samuel 1:27. Samuel began serving the Lord in the tabernacle from a young age. At that time, the nation was spiritually dry. The word of the Lord was rare in those days. 1 Samuel 3:1. But that was about to change. One night, while Samuel was lying down, he heard a voice calling his name. Thinking it was Eli, he ran to him. 3 times this happened, and finally, Eli realized what was happening. He told Samuel,
If he calls you again, say, Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening.
So Samuel did, and that night God spoke to him. 1 Samuel 3:10. From that point on, Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him. All Israel recognized him as a prophet. As Samuel led the people in repentance, Israel defeated the Philistines. But over time, the people grew restless again. They demanded a king.
Appoint a king to lead us, such as all the other nations have.
1 Samuel 8:5. Samuel was distressed, but God said,
It is not you they have rejected, but me as their king.
1 Samuel 8:7. God warned them through Samuel, A king will take your sons, your daughters, your fields, and your freedom. But they insisted. So God chose Saul, a tall and impressive man from the tribe of Benjamin. When Samuel anointed him, God changed Saul's heart. 1 Samuel 10:9. At first, Saul was humble, even hiding when chosen publicly. He started well, leading Israel to military victories, but pride and fear soon crept in. One day, during a tense moment before battle, Saul grew impatient waiting for Samuel and offered the burnt sacrifice himself, something only a priest was to do. 1 Samuel 13:9. When Samuel arrived, he said,
You have done a foolish thing.
Later, God told Saul to destroy the Amalekites completely. But Saul spared their king and the best livestock. 1 Samuel 15:9. When Samuel confronted him, Saul made excuses. But Samuel answered with words that still echo today.
To obey is better than sacrifice.
1 Samuel 15:22. From then on, God rejected Saul as king. The Lord told Samuel to go to Bethlehem, to the house of Jesse, and anoint a new king. Samuel saw Jesse's oldest son and thought,
Surely this is the one.
But God said,
Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart.
1 Samuel 16:7. Finally, the youngest son, David, a shepherd boy, was called. The Lord said,
Anoint him.
And from that day, the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon David. Meanwhile, Saul was tormented by an evil spirit, and his servants brought in David to play music for him. The harp soothed Saul's troubled heart. David found favor in his court, but his true rise came when Israel faced a terrifying enemy, Goliath, the Philistine giant. For 40 days, Goliath mocked Israel's army. No one dared fight, until David stepped up. With a sling and 5 smooth stones, he told the giant,
You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. The battle is the Lord's.
1 Samuel 17:45-47. With one stone, Goliath fell. The people cheered. Songs were sung.
Saul has slain his thousands, and David his tens of thousands.
1 Samuel 18:7. Jealousy burned in Saul's heart. He tried to kill David with a spear. He plotted, hunted, and chased him across mountains and caves, but David refused to retaliate. More than once, he had the chance to kill Saul, but each time he said,
I will not lift my hand against the Lord's anointed.
1 Samuel 24:6. While Saul's heart grew dark, David's was shaped by faith and patience. Alongside him stood Jonathan, Saul's son. Though Jonathan was the heir to the throne, he made a covenant of friendship with David. He gave him his robe, his sword, and his loyalty. 1 Samuel 18:3-4. Jonathan risked everything to protect David. Their bond was stronger than politics or power. But Saul's obsession destroyed him. When God stopped answering his prayers, Saul turned to a medium, the witch of Endor. 1 Samuel 28:7. He asked to speak to Samuel's spirit. Samuel appeared and told him,
Tomorrow you and your sons will be with me.
in the final battle on Mount Gilboa, Saul's sons, including Jonathan, were killed. Surrounded and wounded, Saul fell on his own sword. 1 Samuel 31:1-6. The king who once stood tall now lay broken, undone not by enemies, but by disobedience. When David heard the news, he tore his clothes and wept. He wrote a lament for Saul and Jonathan.
How the mighty have fallen.
2 Samuel 1:19. David mourned Saul with honor and loved Jonathan deeply. Even in pain, his heart reflected reverence, not revenge. The book of 1 Samuel leaves us with deep truths. It shows how prayer births hope, how obedience matters more than appearance, how God chooses the unlikely, how pride destroys, but faith endures, and how waiting for God's timing is often the hardest but most powerful choice. It also points forward. Samuel, the prophet and priest, foreshadows Jesus, the true prophet and eternal priest. Saul, the people's king, shows us that human strength fails. David, the humble shepherd king, points us to the ultimate king, Jesus, the good shepherd who defeats our enemy not with sword, but with a cross. When David declared,
The battle is the Lord's.
he spoke a truth that echoes through time. 1 Samuel 17:47. You may be facing giants today: fear, failure, loneliness, shame. But the same God who raised up David fights for you still. Victory doesn't come from armor or effort. It comes from trust. Maybe you feel like Hannah, crying in secret, or like Saul, drifting away, or like David, waiting in the wilderness. Wherever you are, this book reminds you, God sees the heart. God writes the story, and He's not done with yours. If this story of 1 Samuel moved you, join me for the next one. We're going through the Bible, book by book, finding life in every chapter. Subscribe, share with someone who needs courage today, and I'll see you next time for 2 Samuel, where David's journey continues and the covenant of God begins to unfold. Until then, remember, the battle is the Lord's.